As soon as it hits 4 o'clock, Rob, you can start.
I think we'll run it in, don't we? We won't make Joe sit there because he's not going to like it if we do. Listen, Joe, lovely to see you. Congratulations, first and foremost. You don't seek the limelight. I know how you dislike sitting where you are now, talking to the likes of me and the media, so thanks for doing it. But it must be a very special feeling to be back there, especially after all you've been through with the injuries. Does it feel quite surreal as well after 4 years away?
Yeah. Like you say, it's part and parcel. I'd probably try and swerve it if I could, but it is surreal, I think, just because 4 years is quite a long time, and probably spent a fair bit of that time thinking about wanting to be back in the mix, and seeing the team do so well and having a taste of it when I was quite a bit younger was obviously special. And yeah, I'd be lying if I didn't say I spent time thinking about wanting to be back with the boys and getting back to this level. So yeah, it has played a big part in my mind and just giving me a new appreciation to be here and a different perspective, because I know the flip side and how tough that can be. So it's obviously a privilege, it's a cliche to say, but it is a privilege to be here, and having that approach of gratitude, but also the wanting to do well and wanting to prove to myself and that I can be here and participate and play my part.
I think the last time you played for England, your son had just been born. Was that about right? 2020?
Yeah.
Is he nearly 4 now?
Yeah, so it is nice in that sense, just because he's starting to get it a bit and he understands football. And yeah, it was a shame. It happened when it did, and he was young. He didn't understand it, but now it's really special. I think those are the things that away from the pitch mean the most. And yeah, just seeing him come down or come to Wembley and understand it, and yeah, that's the bit that means the most, probably.
Look, you've had an extraordinary season with Liverpool so far. That's what's got you here. That's what's earned you this call-up again. And after all those nightmarish injuries that you've had, do you think you're in the best form of your career right now?
I mean, I'm really enjoying my football. Obviously, we had a good phase at club when we won the league and so on and so forth, but obviously this year has been different for me, playing in different places, and it's hard for me to judge. I think I was obviously younger and enjoying it then, playing centre-half mostly, but I'm definitely enjoying it. I think it helps when the team's doing well and when we're winning games, and that plays a big part. But yeah, personally, I don't know. I'm just appreciating the moment. I'm not really worrying about where I've been or where I've got to go. I think just being here now and embracing it is the main thing.
Hi, John. You said it's been 4 years and you've been thinking about getting back into the squad. Last time you were with England, you got the injury on the training pitch. Was it a strange feeling going back out there, considering the last time you got injured?
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said it didn't have a psychological toll. Like, I left in an ambulance quite abruptly from the training pitch. So yeah, it meant a lot to me. Just even yesterday, just doing the warm-up, and it's nice to sort of feel like I could close that chapter. Not to be over dramatic, but everyone gets injured. It's part of the game. But it being so sudden the way it happened, and then just leaving and never really getting the chance to come back was tough to deal with. So yeah, it's meant a lot just to be in the mix and to be with the boys, and then just sort of close that chapter for me personally.
Do you feel like you can enjoy it more now? And what has Gareth Southgate said to you since you've got back here? Yeah,
I think obviously at that time I was probably, 22 maybe or so, and being away for so long, naturally everyone gets older and you sort of get a different outlook, a different perspective, and I'm appreciative of that side of the journey, and I can use that to sort of understand that there's a lot going on, and obviously it's a massive privilege and it comes with its pressures playing for England, but also understanding it's where you got to be grateful to be here, and you don't have to be here. It's a big privilege, as I say. So yeah, Gareth's been good with me, obviously. I was with Gareth all the way through 21s, and then he picked me for my debut. So that was nice to sort of reunite with him and just be back doing what I'm meant to be doing. And yeah, Gareth's great in that sense, like on an individual basis, keeping in touch and speaking to the players.
And you're here in the camp before the squad's named ahead of the Euros. The squad goes from 26 to 23, and at Liverpool you're playing in so many different positions. Do you think being so versatile gives you a better chance of making that squad?
Maybe. Honestly, like I'm just taking in this squad, this camp. Obviously, it'd probably be a bit premature for me to think ahead to that point, but yeah, I'm just enjoying my football. I'm enjoying playing different positions, and obviously first and foremost I'd see myself as a centre half, but then I think with age and with time you just sort of take it in your stride, and I've enjoyed that. Obviously sort of embracing the opportunities that I've got, considering my past is the main thing, and yeah, what will be. I think just being here now and trying to get back in the mix with the boys and just enjoying the environment. It's a great place to be. Obviously Gareth and all the coaching staff have made such a good environment. It's just nice to be back in it.
Very great to have you back. Can you tell us the contrast in that squad in the last 4 years? You would have been hearing from your teammates about how it's changed, but coming into training today, what changes have you seen, and what's it like to have so many people say that you are a great selection for a 23-man squad?
Yeah, I mean, obviously personnel's changed a lot, but I think the nice thing is the coaching staff and a lot of the staff have stayed the whole duration, and we're lucky in that sense to have such stability with Gareth and this coaching team. But yeah, it has changed a little bit naturally, so I think it's a great squad with great players. I think the youth in the squad is obviously it's in a good place, but then playing at such a high level, it speaks for itself. So yeah, it's just nice to be in the mix with the boys and meeting some of them for the first time. But then also people like Harry and Hendo that were here when I made my debut, and it's a nice balance and nice to be amongst the boys.
I know Virgil van Dijk's had a big influence on you. He's recently said, "You thought I was done. I'm not done yet." He's reined back on those comments, but what an inspiration of a comeback story. How much has he influenced you, and then how nice was it to keep Ollie Watkins shut out with your aerial duels, which he's struggled to do in the past?
Yeah, no, I think Virgil's ability and his achievements speak for themselves. I'm obviously very close with him. We sort of went through similar phases with injuries at the same sort of time, and that we can relate in that sense. And yeah, I mean, Virg can say those sort of things. I think he's who he is, and I wouldn't come from that angle personally, but he's a great guy. I think he's transitioned so well doing what he's doing. But yeah, it's nice to be here and amongst the boys that are here, and we know we've got big games coming up, so it's going to be a tough test.
You've really grown in confidence over all those roles. Where's that confidence come from?
I think naturally players want to play, and there's nothing like getting consistency in play, and obviously the environment helps, and a manager that gives you the license to just be the best you can. I'm thankful for that, and yeah, just I think getting rhythm, getting consistency, and then you can sort of let the anxieties when it's a bit more staggered when you're not playing as often, sort of fall by the wayside. And I think that's been the biggest thing, just getting rhythm and enjoying that flow.
How you doing, Joe? Nestor McGregor from BBC Sport. I introduced myself because it's my first time, and I'm a fellow Catford boy as well, so yeah, good to see another. I just wanted to know, you mentioned always being optimistic about getting back into the fold, but I wonder, with each squad selection that was named, did you sit by the phone? And when the phone didn't ring, might it have been another time the squad was going to be announced and just wrote it off and planned something anyway? And did you have to cancel anything this time around?
Yeah, I did. I was had to buy a book, so I was probably off there. But yeah, I mean, naturally there was probably occasions where I felt like maybe I had more of a chance than others. Obviously, early on, I was just focused on getting back to a good place. I think it was tough to come back from, and I wasn't expecting to be back in the mix as soon as I was fit. Obviously, it was tough at times when, in the past, pre-injuries, like when I've never been to a major tournament and then missing out on those. But I've always been at peace with the outcome. I've never been fixated on how I've not gone, so I'm gutted. I had to be, I think, just focusing on the process and where I was with club and doing that fundamentally is the main contributing factor to getting back in the fold. So I think everything, I'm believing everything happened for a reason at the right time. So I'm happy to be here now, and yeah, it was obviously a lot of tough times and periods to sort of get back, but it's nice to sort of hope that that's compounded the hard work over time to get back to this point.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope you got a refund in your Dubai fare and hotel. It's worth saying, you know, we keep harking on about 4 years, but you might seem like a new player. Someone who else is new is Kobe Mainoo. I wonder if there's an England initiation. Have you had to do one because it's been so long, and what might he have to do?
I don't think so. I think it's probably daunting enough to come back in, and yeah, I think everyone, the group, the senior lads, the manager and the staff, try and make the boys feel as comfortable as possible. And yeah, I think he's enough to focus on. I know it feels like your first camp, and similarly me being in that similar sort of position, having been away for so long, that's probably a bit of an ask to have to stand on the chair and sing or something. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the beauties of having Gareth and the staff, how comfortable they make the boys feel. And essentially, everyone just wants to focus on their football and do the best they can for the country.
Mm. And with your son being 4, I imagine a summer holiday might have been planned for June, July. I'm guessing that's not going to be the case. You want to be on that plane, and what would it mean, like, to come full circle?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to think too far in advance. I'm focusing on this week, so we've got 2 good games against top opposition, and being back on the pitch would be nice. And yeah, I'm not thinking ahead that far. Obviously, we've got a lot to play for in the rest of the season as well on the club side. So, yeah, what will be. I'm just taking it each day as it comes, sort of thing.
Okay, anyone else in the live section? James, on it.
Hi, Joe. After Liverpool drew against City, your manager, Jurgen Klopp, went on TV and said, you know, Joe Gomez, Gareth, honestly. Just wondered what you made of that when you saw it.
Yeah, obviously didn't see it live. Yeah, I mean, the gaffer at club is the gaffer. I think he's one of a kind, and I obviously owe a lot to him. That he's been probably the biggest influence on my career, well, definitely. And yeah, it's nice to have that support from your manager, and I definitely didn't ask him to do it. So. But yeah, he's obviously been a massive influence on me, not just as a player but as a person. So that was obviously nice of him, I guess.
It feels like he's really championed you sort of consistently. He always seems to quite often single you out and sort of talk you up, and it must be great for your confidence. Yeah,
I think similarly to here, I think it's nice to have a manager that you collectively all want to play for and give you all for, and that's the case there. And I guess instances like that play a factor, and yeah, it's obviously special to play under him, but the main thing was doing what I can to get back here, and yeah, that's sort of that.
There's obviously a lot of focus on Klopp leaving and the talk about wanting to go out on a high, but would the sort of perfect end to the season for you be to win something more at Liverpool and then to go away with England at the Euros?
Yeah, that's the aim. I think no matter the period, obviously the manager announcing that he's leaving plays a part in things and the whole view towards the rest of the season, but it was always the same. That the application won't have changed. You want to win every game, every footballer does, I guess, and that won't have changed from when he signed his renewal to when he said he was leaving. I think we all obviously appreciate it massively, but yeah, nothing's changed. Everyone just wants to do well, and you can only do that by taking one at a time. I think we can't look beyond. It's obviously highly competitive, and it's not going to be easy, but yeah, all we can do is focus on what's ahead.